Here it is. I know you guys have been waiting. Don't worry. Ito na siya. The first in the follow-up to the original Goats in Each Role series. We're talking about the greatest multi-role players in the history of MPL Philippines. Now, I know that nominations for the Hall of Legends may have closed by the time you're watching this, but that's okay. It's still a very healthy conversation. And before we begin, I'd like to show you guys a little something. This is the Delta Hub Carpio G2. And shoutouts to my fam over at Urban Traveler Co. Doon ko nakuha ito. And let me show you the box real quick. This is what it comes in. It's very cool, open like that. That's where it goes. Anyways, since it's off season, we're waiting for the playoffs. I have a lot of work here at my desk. So, madalas tayong gamit ng mouse. It really helps with my ergonomics and my productivity. Helps with those long days that we're just working on the computer. So, ayun, it's for your wrist. It mounts it. Anyways, here we go. Real quick caveats. I have 3 honorable mentions and an actual top 3. Much like the older videos. The way I looked at this list, I wanted these players to have at least 2 main roles kung saan either sumikat sila or they achieved great renown via playing those 2 main roles. And then, extra na lang, bonus na lang yung gumaling sila sa pangatlo or pang-apat pang role. It's my list. If you find anybody that you disagree with or may naisip pa kayong mas magaling na player na sana nandun sa role na yon or sa slot na yon, make your own list, put in the comments, alright? Oh, by the way, subscribe. Now, boom! First up, honorable mention, it's my boy, Curteasy. Curteasy, currently playing for Echo here in Season 10, was part of the original Super Team lineup. He's more seen in mid now, but there was a time where he played in the side lanes, meaning XP lane or even in the weird time of M2, he was actually the gold laner there instead of Toshi. Even if they're both solid players, I actually love Curteasy in the gold lane also. Very, very solid, like can hold a dead lane like nobody knows. And as a mid laner, holds it down as well. As an XP laner, dun una lumabas si Paquito, if I'm not mistaken, during M2. He was in the grand finals of the whole Paquito 1v1 challenge. So again, it shows you how good he is at mechanics. So that's Curteasy, my first honorable mention. Second honorable mention is the KDA machine, aka the MVP machine, talking about Haji, alright? Haji is now better known as a mid laner / roamer. Palitan sila ni Mamshu. And really these days, I'll take both. In Season 10, he was more of a mid laner. But for those who don't know, before Blacklist International, he was actually with Omega for the longest time. And whatever the team was before Omega, I'm talking about SGD, talking about SGD Omega, in between, he was a jungler. That's where he was first called the Machine or the KDA Machine nung nasa jungle siya because napakalinis ang laro ni Haji and he was rotating like clockwork, pak, 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 and he wouldn't die because he knew how to not die despite what any of his opponents were doing. This was a time wherein there were 10 teams in the MPL, so as a jungler, iniisip niya how the other 9 junglers and the other 9 teams will rotate around his jungle, and every single time, again, like clockwork, like a machine, he knew how to work that. And that's as a jungler. Now, a lot of success as a roamer and a mid. Honorable mention, greatest multi-role. Alright, there's more coming up. Here's my third honorable mention. Of course, it's the Hitman, Renegade. Started out in the side lane. Again, Project Next happened in between Season 6. So wala pang Project Next nun as it started. So side lane, doesn't matter. And then after that, was labeled as a gold laner. And then an XP laner. And then in Season 9, a roamer. And then during the whole NXPE shuffle in Season 10, where they really had a hard time, honestly, swear to G, they had such a hard time. Nag-roamer ulit si Renegade, and then this is not working, I'm more comfortable in XP. Pow! XP! And then that's where we saw their, twilight run, wherein we were still hoping that they would still somehow kind of make it. XP lane Renegade, back to form. In summary, Renegade has played in the XP, in the gold lane, and in roam. So I guess the reason why he's so important, and I think he's such a success as a multi-role player, is because one of the intangibles, one of the reasons why you have Renege on a team is because he's a great voice. He's a solid backbone. He's a leader in game. And you see it. It's clear. It's very rare that you see that effect on their team when they're in it and they're out of it in a season. Because that happens, right? That's always a storyline for NXBE. No Renege, no win. There's a reason why that's always mentioned, that's always brought up. And time after time, season after season, Next Play EVOS needed the Hitman. And they needed him in any role that he could fill. And boy oh boy, did he fill that up in all three. Alright? More the XP and Rome, but you already knew that. Now, into the top 3 proper. Here we go. Number 3. Oh, wait. Basta wala order to. I just like all of them. And I think they're all solid in where they are. Of course, it's Daddy Iron Legs. It's half man, half amazing. It's Bataanon. It's Yelly Haze. Okay? So Yelly Haze is more solid in mid right now. Sometimes he does dip out and switch up into Rome in the past couple of seasons, give or take. But before that, he was tank main, roamer. Well, in the older days, tank lang yun or support. Basta, isa mga nagpausot na pakalakas na Cho. Alright? Scary, scary. That's why he's here for me. There's a lot you learn from the older days of MLBB na nakaya mo pang sumabay ngayon in Season 10 onwards. That's why he's in my top 3, okay? Napakataas pa ng potential ni Yelly Haze, and I'm excited to see him. That's why he's here. Top 3 material, definitely. Next up, top 3. It's Daddy JP. Wala siyang additional. He's just Daddy JP, you know what it is, right? Currently playing for Echo. He is part of Echo Proud, and he's their main roamer. But there was a time wherein JP was also a mid laner / jungler / side laner. I don't know what the hell they were doing with Sunsparks. I actually don't understand ML as much back then as I do now. So there's also that caveat. Kaya sobrang lakas ni JP because they figured it out. They deserve to be 2-time champions in that era. Alright? And they made that work. The whole winning off of the back of a switcheroo with KLVJ on the Kimmy in Season 5 and winning that back-to-back championship was really magic. And really that's why now you can say JP, at least for me, is one of my greatest multi-role players. Also, in Season 7, Season 8, he tried to transition. He'd helped other players, their younger players in his team to actually shine. There was a time wherein under Aura, JP was the one who was playing Cho back to back to back to back. And Rome yun, right? Rome yun. Before that, he was prior burst damage main. So that's JP, that's Daddy JP. He's in my top 3. Now, the final member of my greatest multi-role players is, of course, my man, J. Lord Gonzalez. Team SMG, Hatred or Hate, whichever. Anyways, alam niya na yun. Tagal ng idol to si Hatred eh. Talking about Hatred, last seen in MPL PH playing for Onyx PH, Season 9. Now, part of MPL MY. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ano ba yung pangasar ko sa kanya? Yun, namimiss ko na yung mid-Leo mode ni Hatred. Or ni Hate. Yun, alam niya yun. Again, how crazy does that sound, right? Mid-Leo mode. That's in the older days of Season 4. Now, we've seen Hate play the gold lane. We've seen Hate play jungle. We've seen Hate in mid, and that's where he mainly was found during, I'd say, their highlight of their career. I'm talking about Onyx PH. At M3, umabot silang grand finals, and it was Hate in mid there. It was Hate in mid, and I really love how Hate, as a player, just grows right before our eyes. And yeah, dude is a boxing bag. He's a punching bag for fans whenever, you know, his team loses. I'm talking way back into even the Exit days. Pero andyan pa rin siya. Andyan pa rin siya, and he's one of the first imports, pioneers in our industry. And he did all of that while playing multiple roles in MLBB. And I think that makes him a GOAT. In my eyes, that makes him a GOAT. At least for me. That's my list. Top 3 plus honorable mentions. Again, real quick, my GOATs, run them through. It's Yelly Haze, JP, and Hatred. Sino sa inyo? Let me know in the comments below. And again, click subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Alright? Peace.